Hello, dear friends. Love for Tartary is a strange thing. Maybe because we live there. Opinion piece. Russia reveals Tartary. Historical paradigm shift. Enigmas of the Lost Empire. Revealed 6,000 hidden years. Millions of people lived in harmony. Absence of Tartary in history books. Let's start. A new archive on the colossal empire of Tartary, which reveals this kingdom hidden by history, was inaugurated and revealed to the public this year in Russia, according to media grid, although the media barely reported it. This hitherto hidden repository reveals to the public for the first time the official maps of Tartary. A ghost of the past thus resurfaces, inviting us to re-examine our understanding of world history. The implication of this news is transcendental, since this measure marks a profound paradigm shift. Russia, a nation with stratified history and deeply rooted traditions, decided to decant its true and unfalsified historical narrative, freeing itself from the shackles of orthodox historiography. The conventional historical narrative in the fabric of academic curricula, which obscures the greatness of the Tatar Empire, has origins dating back to the 18th century. It is designed following the biblical concept of history, a legacy of the Romanovs, Russian rulers of yesteryear. However, this narrative truncated more than 5,500 years of the rich tapestry of the kingdom, a consequence of the transition from the original calendar to the Julian calendar. Definition. The theory of Great Tartary as a lost civilization originated in Russia from the dissemination of the so-called new chronology of Anatoly Fomenko and was popularized by Nikolai Levashov. Tartary was presented as the true name of Russia, ignored in the West. Since about 2016, the theory about the lost empire of Tartary has gained popularity among internet users. Great Tartary is the name by which a large area of land in Central and Northeastern Asia was known in Europe from the Middle Ages to the 19th century, from the Caspian Sea and the Ural Mountains to the Pacific Ocean, and which was inhabited by several Turkic and Mongol peoples, whom they generically called Tatars. It included what is known as Siberia, the Russian Far East, Turkestan, Greater Mongolia, Manchuria, and Tibet. Paradigm shift. We are on the verge of a paradigm shift. A new concept of education is being developed as a radical revision of the history books that were produced in the last 2 decades under the auspices of Western educational institutions and non-profit organizations. The journey to recover the historical identity of humanity has begun. The focal point of this journey is Tartary, a mysterious empire relegated to the margins of world history. Although tales of the pyramids of Egypt, the greatness of the Persian Empire, Ottoman resistance, and Roman conquests populate our textbooks, the saga of Tartaria remains absent. Despite dwarfing these empires in terms of its enormous territorial extent, Tartary has been absent from historical discourse until now. Over the years, this extensive empire received several nicknames: Rasenia, Scatia, and finally Tartary. Historians such as Yelena Luminova and Dmitry Milnikov, among others, have begun to fill the void, shedding light on this enormous state entity. Spread over several continents, Tartary was home to millions of people who lived in harmony, fostering a culture rooted in spiritual and moral virtues. They had a deeper reverence for ancestors, justice, family ties, and their homeland. The Tatars, as their inhabitants, were known were an impressive race, tall, red-haired, white-skinned, and with blue, green, or gray eyes. These Slav Aryans and Russians possessed an intriguing mix of characteristics. They were friendly and warm in times of peace, but brave and ruthless in battle. In times of victory, they were fair and compassionate, and they stood firm during adversity. His indomitable spirit arose from his unwavering determination to protect his homeland and defend the moral purity and faith of his ancestors, becoming almost invincible. Tartary stretched from the Urals to Alaska and from Terra Nova to Tibet. It was a formidable entity in northern Asia, flanked by Siberia to the north and west. It was a complex mosaic of diverse tribes and people such as the Astrakhans, Cherkess, Dagestanis, Kelmis, Uzbeks, Mongols, and Tibetans, each with their unique culture and heritage. It was a testament to the harmony that could exist in the midst of diversity. Despite its enormous scale and cultural significance, the existence of Tartary disappeared from the pages of history with the dawn of the 18th century. The world's largest empire, once on the map of the 1771 Encyclopaedia Britannica, faded into oblivion. A significant part of human history, spanning millennia, appears to have been swallowed by the sands of time. The revelation of the Tartary archives marked a critical moment in the quest to uncover the truth. The grand narrative of human civilization is incomplete without acknowledging the existence and contributions of Tartary. The revelation of these archives is a wake-up call for historians, scholars, and truth-seekers around the world to shed their prejudices and preconceived notions, delve deeper into the labyrinth of history, and uncover the truth about this invisible empire. Reset News. All things are possible through the knowledge of the creative spirit. The White Hats have game theory operations to counter the dark side's plans. It had to be like this. The storm in the European Union is growing, and several countries, such as Poland, Lithuania, and Slovakia, want to expose their own governments connected to the elite. Putin proposes that France send a request to join the BRICS if that is his wish. And there are signs that an economic collapse is underway. Credit ratings are downgraded to negative, and some banks are suddenly closing accounts for no reason. According to Judy Binton, the endgame is near and the economic meltdown has triggered global financial reset toward gold and asset-backed currencies. We are watching a movie. Don't get angry because you don't see things. Nothing is what it seems. We are on a pause. Let's be patient because the divine plan is worth waiting for. World on fire. I don't know anything about the battle. I see the broader global implication, but the day-to-day wins and losses for both sides. Germany. Some schools force non-Muslim girls to wear the veil. Spain. Retired soldiers or militaries demand that the armed forces remove Sanchez and call elections due to the absence of democracy. After destabilization comes the crisis phase, and after the revolution, a normalization phase. After normalization, the destabilizing elements that caused the crisis will be removed. According to Julian Romanello, perhaps some westerns will be in the pot and slow cooking will increase a little, but the goal is the same, pushing the people to their limits until they are willing to walk onto the playground of a smart city. Winds of fortune. As Matthew Watt said 20 years ago, those who choose to reject the light will begin to live as the planet continues to ascend to higher frequencies where they cannot survive. The winds of fortune blow against them. After the ascension, the entire planet will be empowered by the love that will then exist to resolve our differences quickly and friendly. Important update from Kimberly Cogan. 90 positive beings are here. Backup has arrived. They appeared shortly after midnight. The source sent them. 120,000 angels arrived from the source and sent more than 200,000 away from the dark side in the last 4 hours. I mean, 120,000 angels against 200,000 of the dark side. The last time the White Hats took control came in the last 48 hours. A reverse rapture is in his own words. Those who do not comply are returned to the source. If someone tries to shoot, the gun disappears. This lady says it's all on the security cameras. Trial of the nations. Someone saw a world conflict through their remote vision. The explosion of a supervolcano that causes great problems worldwide. Russia takes advantage of the situation to invade Europe, passing from Germany and going to central Italy. The Russian army is defeated in Germany thanks to a strange top-secret weapon that cuts off supplies. China betrays Russia and invades it from the east. The final part of the war would be the fighting near Israel. A meteorite crashes into the sea, causing a tsunami. Let's hope it's not right. According to Morgan, the devil does not have a face of his own. He assumes the faces of those whom he possesses and through whom he operates. He is forever imprisoned within specific bandwidth from which he cannot escape. Unless you venture into that bandwidth, he won't be able to touch you. Laugh at the devil, and he will flee from you. He can't stand contempt. Until purity is established in you, you have magnetic touchstones in your body that resonate with satanic bandwidth. The loss of innocence and purity is a fact when one takes corporate from here. Both are lost as a rite of passage. The whole dance of life revolves around the loss of these things and their recovery. If this is not achieved, then one fades into the corruptions of form and senility. If you cannot be inspired to swim against the current, to give birth to a new creature, you will die in the arms of the old. That is why in the New Testament we are exhorted to put off the old human being. Breaking news. Australia wants to require a passport to use social networks. Australia's fifth largest bank to phase out cash and checks in 2024. Iran and the US maintain secret communications to avoid an escalation, according to the American Journal. Tehran doesn't want a war escalation. Owen Schroyer's lawyer says the InfoWar host has disappeared into a black hole since he was sentenced to 2 months in prison from his alleged role during the January 6th protest. Citigroup plans to announce major layoffs on Monday to cut costs, according to the Financial Times. The bank is carrying out a massive restructuring that would see tens of thousands of jobs eliminated. African and Caribbean nations to seek reparation from slavery in Europe. A global movement to seek reparation for slavery was forged during a summit in Ghana this week, according to The Guardian. Curious. Identified 14 possible evolutionary traps for humankind and how to avoid them. The traps range from carelessness in the face of artificial intelligence to chemical contamination and the spread of infectious diseases, which could hinder the progress of humankind. Other pitfalls include the simplification of agriculture, economic growth that doesn't generate benefits for the population, and the instability of global cooperation. Asian genes may be responsible for depression, according to a new study. About 60,000 years ago, humans embarked on a migration out of Africa. While venturing into Asia, they encountered the Denisovans, a different human species, which likely led to a mix of interactions, including interbreeding, between the two groups, according to the study published in PLOS Genetics. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.